Profeci is a modern Polish black metal band, and Ubłasto is their third full-length album, which comes with a sort of modern cult black metal feeling, which is also rooted in avant-garde and post-metal in a lot of ways. This band's sound is generally easy to compare to groups like Odraza and Furia, as well as Medical Pest and whatever you might have noticed in the peripheral of modern and exploratory Polish black metal. Now, this is a particularly fine and readable version of that feeling and style, which is influenced by a little bit by post-metal, but not really. It is generally a sort of twisted and gnarled form of black metal, which still reads quite easily as something beyond kind of the behemoth style black metal that we get so much from Poland in the interim. So rather than stumble through more description, as it's such a difficult thing to communicate, we'll just go right to some of the music and explore what is different about it. Now, there's a definite struggle to all of Profeci's music, and certainly the themes reflect this. There's always a conflicted mind, someone who is at war with circumstance and determinism, in the sense that these are very philosophical and tragic works in many ways, but also artful in their presentation and their bending of traditional rhythms into something which is what I would consider avant-garde light. It is a less involved and less abstract version of what most people consider avant-garde black metal, which takes fewer chances with instrumentation and various noise experiments, and instead focuses in on abstract rhythms and different types of songcraft. And that means that each of these songs has its own voice, its own interest, and its own subject, and there's a lot of left turns in certain pieces. I'm not going to try to pronounce some of these songs, but one of them ends with what is obviously the melody taken from a part of Elden Ring. There's a song in here which really sounds quite a bit like Furia's No Cell, which is one of my favorite records from that band. And that was enough to pull me in, those two songs, to experience the rest of it. And the fact that this is about half an hour means that it's not a very involved listen. It doesn't, it does a good job of immersing through the density of experience and the variety of experience, but it doesn't ask a lot of your time or tax the mind too heavily beyond its lyrics, which you probably won't be able to translate until it fully comes out because they're in Polish. So definitely, I think what I would say is that these are very intelligent fellows who are thoughtfully crafting a modern form of black metal, which is very artful and pristine in its presentation and construction. And I think they've been vastly underrated for their last record and now this one. This should be the one where more people take this band seriously and notice them, because this is Aporia was a very special record and a very meaningful record, which was very intense in its performances. And I think this one kind of, in some ways, it reins it in for the sake of conveying something different, and I'd really appreciated that. So if you're in for kind of a dark and depressive album with a lot of interesting avant-garde touches, this is kind of a gem that a lot of people will just not notice. So I gave it a high recommendation. It is one of the better releases, black metal releases of this month, and it's worth checking out. So you can read more about it in my review, or you can just go listen to it tomorrow.